Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Vicky and this video is just going to be me being inspired by a look that I saw on Instagram from Makeup with Jar. I'll insert the picture here. And to be honest, throughout the course of the video it kind of changes because it's inspired by that, but I didn't actually achieve her effects. I kind of went for something else. So that's what it was initially inspired by. It also sort of reminds me of Nikki Tutorial's look that she did when she reviewed House Laboratories. So if you want to see how I created this look, and you also want to see, because I asked on my Instagram stories if people wanted to see a first impressions video of a couple of Makeup Revolution products and some products from The Ordinary. So if you want to see that video, then just keep on watching, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first product that I'm going to talk about is actually this facial serum. My sister got me this for Christmas, and it's from Buddha Beauty, which I believe are a company based in Manchester, and it's totally vegan and organic ingredients, and this is the orange and grapefruit daily brightening facial serum with strawberry and arnica extract. This is really, really nice. You don't need very much, and I've been using it, I'd probably say every other day since like Christmas time, and that's how much, can you see, sorry. Yeah, you might be able to see a little bit better there. That's how much is left. Like when you use it, it pumps up, so there's quite an amount left. Like you don't really need very much, a little bit goes a long way. So I've just rinsed my face because I had a shower earlier, and I've just applied that. So now I'm actually going to go in and try the Ordinary primer. So the reason I went for this brand is because it had really good reviews on Beauty Bay, which I 100% trust, because I feel like the review section on Beauty Bay is a real like make or break for me whether I buy a product or I don't. So the Ordinary are really good anyway, like for the, well, I've never tried the products before, but from the price point and everything I can gauge so far, I love the packaging, and yeah, I just think they look really good. And so this is the high adherence silicone primer. I don't actually really use a primer in my daily routine at all, but this one where it said high adherence and it had really good reviews, I'm assuming that when you apply it you can actually feel it doing something. You're not just putting it on your face as part of your routine because everyone says to prime and you've no idea why or what it's doing. So I'm just gonna, does it say anywhere? Use as a last step in skincare regime, either on its own or as a makeup primer. Right, okay, it says you can go onto the website for instructions on how to use it properly. I'm just gonna get a couple of pumps, I think, and just put it on the face everywhere. It's probably gonna have that safety foil thing, isn't it? Yes. That's better. Oh, it's like a white colour. I thought it was going to be like clear. I didn't think it was going to have any colour to it. So I'm just gonna, oh, it's feels like glue. I quite like the smell actually. It doesn't really smell of much, but it has like it just has like a nice clean smell. Okay, we're going to need a bit more than that. I really like the feel of this so far. It doesn't feel like you're rubbing a moisturiser on your face, like it feels like it's actually doing something, which is nice. So I've just applied that, and then my next step is brows. So I'm going to do brows first, and I'm also going to do eyeshadow and everything first. So my inspiration for today's look is an amazing account that I follow on Instagram. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the name, so I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. It's Makeup with JAH, so it's either Jar or J or Yay, like it might be, or Yar, like it might be a silent J. But basically I'm going to recreate this look. So yeah, I'm trying my best to recreate this look. So it's basically a really smoky, it's a cut crease, but it's like, it reminds me, if we've got any Lana Del Rey fans out there, how Lana used to have her, she used to have like, I'm assuming pencil eyeliner, like in that kind of shape, on the Born to Die, Paradise kind of era tours, and I always loved the way that looked. So, for this, if I'm being really honest, especially with it being quarantine and stuff, I haven't worn makeup in such a long time. Like the most recent time I've worn it was in my last video, and before that it was so long. So I'm going to try my best to do this, but I am a bit rusty right now because I've not done it in ages. So I'm going to do my brows, carve them out, they're sorted. Go for, I don't know whether to go for the P. Louise base or like concealer with it being darker. might go for concealer just because I feel like that's a bit more forgiving, because the P. Louise base is so good for getting shadows to stick to it, but with black, because it's a bit unforgiving, I don't want to then be like, oh god, no. So I'm gonna go and do my brows. So do my brows off camera. You guys saw how I did my brows in the last video, so I'll do my brows off camera, carve them out. Well, I'll come back to you to carve them out because I've actually got a new concealer, so we'll see how that feels. And then, yeah, so I'll go do my brows, come back to you when I'm carving them out. I've just zoomed you in a bit so you can see. You can definitely, oh, I've got something in my eye. You can definitely tell with that silicone-based primer that it's on your skin, because your skin feels really like, I think I said feels blurred, but I bet it has blurred out some parts of my skin, but it feels like you've got like a film on your skin. So when I was using my Dipbrow pomade, like going over parts where there isn't hair, you do need to like add a little bit more, because otherwise it'll just slide off, but that's fine. And also some people do their foundation first, which I'm sure that would like stick to straight away, and then you wouldn't have a problem. So I picked up a new concealer because mine were like running out, and I've used the Conceal and Define for quite a while now, so I was wanting to try something different. And when I'd filtered on Beauty Bay by like user ratings, the Revolution Pro, so it's still Makeup Revolution Pro, full cover camouflage concealer came up. I thought I'd give it a go. So it looks like this. It's in a little like tube. So I got the shade C1. For anyone who's using me as like a shade comparison. So I'm just going to use a little bit on the back of my hand. It looks similar to the Concealer Define right there, but we'll find out. And I'm just going to take that Urban Decay flat packer brush I used in my last video that came with one of the Urban Decay palettes. Like I said in my last video, I don't want to go heavy handed around my brows, so I'm just going to take a little bit of time checking you're in focus. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I don't know if it's the concealer or the primer, but you can feel it like sticking straight away when you put it on, which is nice. Wow, it feels heavy. It feels like you can definitely feel like a drag when you're applying it, which I'm assuming means it's sticking. I think I've gone too heavy-handed at the front. I look like I've got a tadpole brow. There's a lot. Like this concealer feels like it goes a long way. Okay, so that's that brow. I don't know if I like the shape, to be honest. No, we'll roll with it. Right, okay, so I've learnt on that eye you really don't need much concealer at all. Okay, so there's my brows done. It wasn't difficult to do, it just was different to do, because having the primer on definitely makes, I don't know if it's the primer or the concealer obviously because they're both new, but it makes your makeup go a long way. With whatever the product, my makeup's going a lot further than I was expecting it to. Like you use the tiniest bit of concealer and you've gone like halfway around the arch of your brow. Like I pumped a tiny pump on and I still have all that left because like I hardly went in with anything. So what I'm going to do now is put concealer all over the lid, and then I'm going to start trying to recreate that look. Okay, so I'm just going to get some of that concealer on a sponge and just go on my lid. This is all that was left on the back of my hand after I'd done that, and it's literally covered my lid straight away. And I didn't put the face primer on my eyes, so it must be the concealer. Like this concealer so far is really good. And it looks like it's got a really nice amount of coverage as well. Once I've done that, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and just set that before we start blending. Okay, now I need to look at this look and figure out what goes first. I'm worried that I'm going to mess this up, but you know what? When you're trying, you're trying. Just give it a go, and if it doesn't look right, you've just embarrassed yourself on YouTube. It doesn't really matter. Oh, the post said that a tutorial's coming out. Why didn't I wait for the tutorial? So, there's like a cool toned pale brown that's blended, like I'm assuming with like a nude, like higher up here. So I'm going to do that step first. Yeah, I'll do that step first. I'm going to use the original Jaclyn Hill palette for this because I just really love it. It's really good for like smoky eyes or colourful looks and things. I haven't got a second one. I debated it, but then I thought, to be honest, I need to use some of the palettes I've already got, and I've got my Juvia's Place and stuff that I go for that. Whoa, I nearly dropped that all over myself. So, cool toned pale brown. I'm thinking of going, I know I've just said cool and this is kind of like warm, but it's the pale brown that I'm thinking of. I'm gonna go for this one here, I think, that's just above the black, which is called Mocha. Yeah, Mocha. I'm gonna get that on a fluffy blending brush and start working that in, and then a bit higher, but we don't want to go too heavy handed because I'm also probably going to take Silk Cream, which is this one here, and just blend it so it doesn't go too dark too quick because you really want that bit to stay light. Does anyone else's Jaclyn Hill palette look beat up like this? I feel like everyone who uses them in tutorials is like, mine's really dirty, and mine's really dirty. Remnants of lash glue from like 2016 on there. So I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics brush kit that I used last time. This one is a really nice fluffy blending brush, but it's shorter. It's shorter and narrower, whereas this one is like, can you see the difference? Like this one's really big and fluffy. So I'm going to apply it first with this and then blend it out with this. Let's take some of that shade Mocha, and I'm just going to pat it in the upper part of the crease, and then start blending that out, and I'll just zoom you in so you can see a bit better what I'm doing. We'll just apply that here. And I'm trying to be really light-handed, I don't want to apply too much. I've only applied a tiny bit there. I'm going to go in with a bigger brush and just start working that up slowly. This is my eye that has eczema as well, just to let you know, so if you see it like gathering here, that's probably why. Although it's not been as bad lately, my eczema. Okay, I think this is one of the times where you'll add something and blend it out and think, oh, you can't see it anymore, I'll add more, but that's kind of the point. It's a very subtle part of the look, so I don't want to overdo it. I really don't think we want much more than that, so what I'm going to do now, I'm trying to think what came next. Do we reckon that the liner came next and then filling in? Probably. God, do we reckon that's liquid liner? Can I literally do that and then go in there with a perfect shape? I've challenged myself with this one. Right, let's try it. You might see me wiping all this off and saying, right, okay, we're gonna go for a natural look today. Jeez. Right, okay, so let's just finish blending the last bit of this in, and then we'll go for the wing. I've just had a look through the page, and there's a previous one that's been done. So basically what happened in that one was she winged it out here and then came back, and I don't know whether she did it with liquid liner or what she did it with, but we're just gonna go for liquid. So I'm gonna do the actual wing with liquid, and then we might use some like black eyeshadow or something to actually create the shape, but it is quite sharp, so I don't want to lose that sharpness. The liner that I'm gonna use, I got this because Holly Boone used to use this all the time. I'm not sure if she still does in her most recent videos actually. It's the NYX Professional Makeup Matte Liquid Liner. So wish me luck for this. So what I'm gonna do is we want a quite thin line. Okay, so this is like a rough trace of where I think it's gonna go, because the actual wing is quite high and then it goes down and then back up again. It might have gone a bit high there, might want it a bit lower. Yeah, I think the lower line's a little bit better, so I'll try and brush away the top line of liner, and then we'll use that as a trace. So I'll just get a stiff brush and try and brush that away. Okay, so I'm just going to use a combination of the two as my guide. So what I'm going to go in with first is probably the brown, in the centre of the lid because there's like a dark brown here, and then we'll go out to the black there. So I'm going to pick up the smaller fluffy brush and I'm going to get the same shade that we used, but I'm just going to pack a bit more of it in, and I'm just going to put it on this portion of the lid. Then I'm going to use the black in the original Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, which is called Abyss. I think it's called Abyss. Yes. And I'm just going to pick that up on this flat packing brush, and I'm just going to tap that here. And I'm just going to try to stay within that line. So what I'm finding quite difficult is to find a glitter that looks quite like the one that she used in her look, because the ones that I've got are more on the gold side. Yeah, I think, and I know it's annoying that I'm switching palettes, but I think I'm going to go for the shade Interstellar in the Alien palette by Jeffree Star, which is a really nice, like, shiny silver. And then I also have a loose gold glitter from NYX. I'm hoping a mixture of silver and gold will look okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it as a cut crease again. So I'm going to take that new concealer that we're using today and that flat packing brush that I was using before, and I'm just going to carve out a cut crease to line up with this that we've already done. What I'm telling myself is, even though it looks like I've gone up quite high, when I have the lashes on, it'll cover up most of the bottom anyway, so it won't feel like I've gone as high. Practice makes perfect though. The more you do looks like this, the more comfortable you become doing it. Okay, so to apply the glitter, I'm going to use a specific brush out of that BH Cosmetics kit, because it's a really good one, so I'll just grab that. Yeah, I just really like using this to apply shimmers. It's just like a packer brush, but it's really narrow. So what I'm going to do is pick up that Interstellar shade and pack that onto the lid. So what I'm going to do now is blend with a brown in between into this so it looks a bit more blended, and then we're going to add some loose glitter and hopefully it'll start looking like it's coming together. And I'm also going to go into a couple of the darker brown shades just to make the transition a bit smoother. So what I've decided to try actually instead is this Glam Crystals Dazzling Gel Liner from Collection. These are so cheap and they were recommended by Holly Boone, so I picked one up and they're really, really good. They're basically just liquid liners that have glitter in them, so I sometimes just use them to accentuate like a cut crease kind of here. So I'm going to use this as a base. This is like a gold colour. Shade 3 in Funk it's called. So I'm just gonna take this on a brush, pat it over the lid and then stick the glitter onto that, and hopefully that should add a bit more pizzazz than what we've got going on right now. So I'm just applying it roughly on the lid, and then I'll just get this brush just to spread it around a bit. And then what we'll do quickly, oh my god, the pressure, so yeah, you can see definitely straight away. This glitter has a tendency to go everywhere, so I'm prepared for that. So I'm literally just gonna pick this up on my ring finger and just pat this on top of the wet liner. I'm not very happy with this if I'm honest, because I feel like it looks nowhere near the gorgeous look that was on that page, but we're trying. We're trying and we're learning. It's the fact that the shape looks so clean on that one. What I'm going to do is, this black section that comes in here is really precise on hers. So what I'm going to do is get this thin brush and some more shadow and really try and make that as thin and precise as I can, and that will hopefully make it look a bit more tied together. Plus we've got to add lashes and do the other eye and all that stuff yet, so hopefully it won't look bad. Okay, that's made me feel a little bit better, and then obviously we're going to clean that up. So I'm just going to go grab a wipe and wipe that up and see where we look like we're at. Obviously that's going to remove some primer, so I'll have to remember to put that back, but that's making me feel a little bit better. So I've gone in with the eye makeup remover and tried to remove the bits that I wasn't happy with, but because it's obviously eye makeup remover, it's making the liner crack a little bit. So what I'm going to do is repeat this whole process on the other eye and then go around it with concealer and stuff when we're doing the face. Guys, I'm back. So this eye was really annoying me because I felt like I was much more comfortable with this eye because it comes down lower rather than the higher arc that I had on this eye. So I removed this entire look on this side and did it again. So I'm really happy with how this has come out actually. It's not exactly like the reference, but I drew inspiration. The lashes that I've got on, by the way, I ordered a new order on falseeyelashes.co.uk, and this is by a brand called Pinky Goat. I've never heard of them before, but their lashes were really cute. These are called Awa. This is the style, this is what they look like. Then they were only like $9.99, they were pretty good, and they've got some discounts on there at the minute. They just look like this. I think they're really cute. I also got another style as well, so Pinky Goat if anyone's interested. And then I also got some duo glue in dark because I've only ever used House of Lashes glue, but it was sold out, so I thought I'd try duo and it's actually quite good. Well, so far they're staying on anyway. So what I'm going to try now is the Ordinary foundation. I just guessed my shade, if I'm honest, from Beauty Bay, so it might not be an exact match. So this is the packaging. It just comes like this, and it just says The Ordinary Colours Light Coverage Serum Foundation. Nikki Tutorials did a video with a girl who does makeup on Instagram. I think she was called Abby, I can't remember her name. And she used this foundation on Nikki, and Nikki really liked it, and she started using it. So I thought, I need a new foundation. It's a vegan formula and it's not very expensive and it's meant to be really good. So yeah, I'm excited to try this. If anyone's using me for shade references, I've got shade 1.2Y, which I'm assuming is yellow undertones, shade light, and it's also got SPF 15 in it, which is good. What I'm going to do on the edges here, it's not as neat as I'd like it to be, so I'm going to put my foundation round like to the edges, and then when I come with concealer I'm going to tidy that up there, so don't worry about that. I am going to fix that. It is quite watery, like when you shake the bottle you hear it like dripping. This might be a bit too yellow for me. We'll make it work. I much prefer, personally, foundations that have like more of a watery feel rather than thick. So I'm just going to start blending that in. Yeah, I would definitely say it is like a light coverage. I mean, it looks like you could build it. I'll try doing a bit of building to make it a bit fuller coverage. The one that I was using in my last video, the LA Girl Pro Conceal, I really like that one, and it does remind me of that one a little bit. I'd say this one's a tiny bit more sheer, but I don't mind that. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the concealer. Obviously we haven't used this yet on the face, so we'll see how that goes. So with it being in a tube and not an actual applicator, I'm just going to squirt some on the back of my hand. To be honest, that's probably a bit too much. And just dab it on. Oh my god, this is so thick. I think earlier when I said you can feel it sticking, it was the concealer, not the primer. That's better. Yeah, what I'm noticing with this concealer is all of the reviews on Beauty Bay that said this was full coverage, they weren't joking. Like, it's really thick. It's like, it's almost like a clay. It's really thick. Yeah, I would say to go light-handed with that, you really don't need very much. Okay, and then all over the face I'm going to powder, so I'm going to use my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in the shade Medium, and I'll come back to you once I've done my powder, because I'm just going to do that all over my face. I'm aware that I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost right now, we're going to sort that. So, I'm going to go in my Bodyshop Honey Bronze. And then I'm also going to go in with my NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette that I used in my last video. This is a powder palette, not cream. And I'm just going to go in with a mixture really of some of the darker contour shades. Way! God, I'm balancing like everything on my knee. If you could see my filming setup right now, honestly. Because my tripod decided to break over the weekend, which was really sad because I've had that tripod since, like, if you go back to some of my old videos, like my first videos or whatever on my channel, that was a tripod I was using. I've had it for so long, and the screw came out of one of the sections, and it's basically the section that keeps the camera in place and stops it from falling and crashing on the floor. So I can't use it because I can't find the screw, so I'm gonna have to order a new one. And we've got a new puppy at the minute, so I'm having to use our like washing container. It's like a washing basket, but it's not. It's like a metal container on top of our puppy's crate right now. That's what you're on right now. So I think in the last video, like when I was speaking, you could hear, because it's like a metal box, you could hear like an echo, so I've had to put a blanket in it, which then means that I've had to throw all of our clothes that need to be washed in the corner. So my room's looking a hot mess right now. So after I've done that, I'm going to grab the sponge that I was using before. I don't know which one it was. Yeah, it was this one. And then my Mercier powder again. And I'm just going to bake. And then after I brush that away, I can finish off the eyes. Love that look. And then I'm going to grab a brush. This is just a Real Techniques face brush. And I'm just going to brush that away. So for the eyes, just to finish them off, I'm just gonna get the larger fluffy brush that we were using before and just take whatever's left on it, the like browns and things. The browns and like a slight part of black probably. Just swoop that under. I really don't want very much. So I'm just gonna go in with my Urban Decay Perversion mascara on the lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the blush that I used in my last video. When I say my last video, it's probably because these are all my staple products, so I use them all the time. But this is the Milani blush in the shade nwMNO, and I'm just going to grab that on a fluffy face brush and just do that on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm also going to go in with highlight. To be honest, I'm going to use the highlighting shade that's in the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's called Light, and there's also one called Beam. So I'm going to use a mixture of them. There's these two shimmer shades in the top left. I'm just going to grab them on the other side of this dual-ended contour and highlight brush from Primark. Okay, and then it's time for lips. Now, I got from Beauty Bay, when I put on my story, did anyone want to see these products, I got a lip liner. I picked up this lip liner. It's a Makeup Revolution one, and it's in the shade Satin Kiss. Before I do that, I'm going to go in with this lip balm I've got. It's really, really nice. I think I got this in like a Christmas goodie bag. It's just a number 7 one. So I'm just going to go in with this really nice pigmented lip balm. I'm going to be going over that, it's just because my lips are a bit dry. Oh, I'm dropping things. Honestly, for a lip balm that's so pigmented, maybe I shouldn't have put that on. Anyway. To be fair, they're actually really similar shades. On camera that's coming up a lot more pink, but it's actually more like muted, dull pink. I really like that. On camera it looks too pink, but in real life it's a really nice like mauvey pink. So everyone, that was my video that was inspired initially by Makeup with Jar, and then it ended up a mixture of, it kind of reminded me of Nikki Tutorial's look on on her video for House Laboratories. So yeah, it's basically just this cut crease with a wing that's blended out after 2 attempts on this side, but we got there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below any videos you want to see, and let me know whether you like this kind of video. My Instagram and my Twitter are also in the description, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.